A last chance perhaps at Hockenheim to grab an autograph from one of the drivers in the 2015 FIA Formula 3 European Championship before they move on to new fields and fresh pastures. And they are signing everything in sight. Champion Felix Rosenqvist looking relaxed and happy. Ahead of every F3 starting grid this season has been one particular car, a safety car, which has been very busy. We take a closer look at its duties.
As soon as the safety car declares the safety car out, I will order the safety car to go in front of the field, and we try to catch the leader as always. Then he will leave the pit lane and waits until safety car line number 2 to catch the leader. If the leader comes, I will give the signal to go on the track, and then he takes the lap, as long as we need the safety car to be out. In this series we have one permanent safety car driver. We have this guy since a few years, so he's quite experienced, especially after this season. The safety car driver just informs us about the track conditions, if there's anything we have to fix as well. And he can also decide in case of rain, for example, if the track is safe to give the race free. At least they are not allowed to overtake the others. They have to queue behind the safety car in one line. They have to keep the gap. There's a maximum of a few car length gap between the cars. That's what they have to keep in mind. As soon as the track is clear, we give the message safety car in this lap on page 7 for all the teams. And at one point on the track, we will extinguish the lights on the safety car. And as soon as the safety car passes safety car line number 1, we will show the green flag around the circuit. It's a signal for the cars on the track that they are allowed to overtake from safety car line number 1, and the race is restarted. If the safety car stays in pit lane, it's perfect for me. At least the driver wants to have a few laps on the track, but we have a safety car exercise, so in my opinion that's enough.
Safety car's been used twice already in race 1. On pole for race 2, Antonio Giovinazzi, and perhaps his best chance to try and secure a runner-up spot in the championship.
Well, I mean, it has been overall a very positive season. The last few races have been a bit difficult for Charles. He's having difficulties with the car at the moment because, I mean, as halfway through the season he was leading the championship, so we had high expectations. Now it's a bit more difficult. He's currently third in the championship with 2 races to go, and I hope he will keep this position, which is difficult because he's the fourth guy, the one right behind him is very few points behind, and he's on the first row, so it will be difficult.
That fourth guy is Jake Dennis for Prema Power Team, who starts on the front row of the grid. Lights on and off for the penultimate time of the season. Not the greatest start from pole sitter Antonio Giovinazzi. The yellow car tries to shut down Jake Dennis, but has to go to the racing line. The Britons inside. Giovinazzi makes no real effort to stay on the racing line, comes back on in front as Jake Dennis gesticulates at him, because you can't do that. Well, Stewart's being a little bit generous with racing line infringements. End of the lap, Giovinazzi is in front by nearly a second from Dennis and Rosenqvist. And nowhere in the top 8 for Charles Leclerc. Disaster though for Alexander Albon. He goes out. Got his wheels on the curbs, turning into one, flat out in top gear, and that is a big impact. And he's out of the car and okay. Ran wide of the hairpin halfway around the lap, and that one rang his bell a little. Safety car goes out and comes back in, and after they restart, contact further back, Nabil Jeffrey in the silver and turquoise car clattering into Tatiana Calderon. And once more, the safety car is scrambled. Another 3 laps of safety intervention will ensue, and as they get ready to restart, they are completing the 8th lap of the race. Antonio Giovinazzi still leading, No real opportunity yet for Jake Dennis to get by him in the number 2 machine. Felix Rosenqvist behind, as is Max Günther. Then Alexander Sims, the first of the non-Prema cars, behind Giovinazzi. Rosenqvist puts a move in on Jake Dennis, though, moves up into second place as Max Günther defends against Alexander Sims behind. Lock up from the race leader. Felix Rosenqvist dives to the inside, and again Giovinazzi uses off-track limits to retake the place. Giovinazzi increasing his lead, and Rosenqvist, having attacked, then hands second place back to Jake Dennis. He was unable to unseat Giovinazzi, gives Dennis maximum points possible. Giovinazzi uncatchable in race 2, though, clearly saved his tyres for that pole position start. And as he gets to the line, Jake Dennis in second. That's bad news for mid-season leader Charles Leclerc, because he is in 11th spot and out of the points. One more race to go to settle second, third and fourth in the championship. Sixth win of the season for Antonio Giovinazzi. One happy boy.
My pace was quite good, and I gave a little bit gap to Felix, then Jake overtook back. But yeah, and he say the car was fantastic. He said thanks to the Carlin guys, and now with this second place security for the championship, I will just enjoy tomorrow the race, start from the first row, and after close this fantastic year in the best way we can.
Yeah, so I took P3 in the championship then, obviously finishing second, and then Leclerc P9 or something promoted me to third. But yeah, the race was not that good for me, to be fair. I had zero pace at the start. I was really struggling.
Mid-race, we realized that Jake was struggling to get Antonio, and then we decided I should have a go for it. And initially I was really quick, and then after a couple of laps I started to have a problem with my gearbox. So I had to go into emergency mode.
Stay with us for the final race of the season from Hockenheim in Germany.